Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. We've come to the end of what was quite an exciting week in terms of our transfers. Yes, we only got one transfer announced, but we made a lot of progress in other transfers. And this upcoming week, I'm expecting us to get 4 deals through the line because we are heading very, very close towards the preseason. We are now only like 11 days away. So I'm expecting a lot of finalizing in terms of these deals this week and a couple of announcements from Arsenal, up to 4 announcements, maybe even more than that. So in terms of this week, obviously Havertz was announced, our first signing of the transfer window. We got to say goodbye to Maitland-Niles after a lot of years as an Arsenal player, and also we also got rid, but Pablo Mari also left Arsenal for Monza on a permanent deal. We got 6 million for that. Obviously, in terms of agreeing deals with agreeing figures of fees with the other teams, Jurrien Timber one, we made progress. We agreed a 41.5 million pound deal with Ajax, so we're expecting that to be finalized this week. We also kind of agreed a 105 million deal with West Ham. We beat Man City to him. We are now waiting for the deal to be finalized. I think both of them are like 96-97% done. It's all about finalizing the structure and also getting the medicals done, and finally the announcement. So this week we're expecting a lot of progress in terms of that. 41.5 million for Jurrien Timber, 105 million for Declan Rice. That will be our second and third signings of the transfer window. Hopefully, maybe you can get another one this week out of nowhere. Maybe you'll start hearing about links out of nowhere, and but we have to wait and see. But before we get into the transfers, I wanted to get you guys' opinion on this kit. So this will be our away kit for next season. What do you make of it? So far, I've seen people saying, "Nah, it's terrible. It's crap. This is the worst away kit that we've had in a long time." I mean, compared to last season, obviously the black one was incredible. I mean, that black one is one of the best Arsenal shirts, I think, since the one that we had, I think 2004, 2005, the blue one with the O2. That was incredible. I remember Thierry Henry that shirt, but the one for last season was epic. One of the best kits to ever be in the Premier League, maybe even the best. But what do you think of this one? Are you definitely going to buy it? Out of 10, what would you rate this kit out of 10? That will be our away kit as we head back to the Champions League. Let me know what you make of it. So in terms of Declan Rice and Jurrien Timber, those deals are expected it to be, because I know people start saying, no, we're expecting it to be done this past week. No, we made progress. Obviously, as we were heading into last week, we still didn't know whether he was going to join Man City or join Arsenal, Declan Rice, but he ended up choosing Arsenal. We ended up agreeing a fee. Man City ended up pulling out to that deal. So it's now all about agreeing the structure and before completing the world or club record deal for a player. Never ever gone anywhere close to 100 million. So Declan Rice, that will be an exciting sign. I cannot wait for him to be announced. Like, I'm sure that day would be special. That day will be special. You know, all these days we'll be talking about, is he going to go to Man City? Is he coming to Arsenal? What is going on behind the scenes? But no, he's going to get done. The medical will be done this week, and same with Jurrien Timber as well. The medical will be done this week, because now we're 11 days away from preseason, and obviously players come back like a week before the preseason fixture plays. I think last year, if I'm not wrong, they came back on a Monday around July 3rd to July 6th. That Monday that was there, the players came back. Now, the first fixture will be in Germany against Nuremberg on 13th of July. Now, that's when we don't really necessarily have to see the likes of Declan Rice and those kind of players, or maybe even players that are maybe an extended holiday, players like Saka who are playing for the international teams recently, and the likes of Odegaard. We might see the others, maybe players returning from injury. We might see maybe a Havertz, maybe if his holidays has finished by then. Maybe the likes of Matt Smith, the likes of Balogun could be there as well. We might see the players that you don't really see a lot. Although last year, we saw the likes of Jesus in that first game against Nuremberg in preseason. So let's see who will be there for that game. But in terms of preseason training and everything, we're expecting all these deals to be finalized as quickly as possible, so that the likes of us focus on preparing the team as we await our fourth and fifth signings of the transfer window. Speaking of fourth and fifth signings of the transfer window, will the fourth one be Romeo Lavia, or will we be going for another player? I've always said I'm 92% confident Rice will join Arsenal. I've always said I'm pretty confident Jurrien Timber will join Arsenal. Havertz was obviously going to join Arsenal. But the one for Romeo Lavia, I was like, I'm not right sure, because, I mean, we've not really made a bid yet, and we've been focusing on the other deals. The other deals could have taken a lot of our time, obviously, especially the Rice one. I don't think could have afforded to start talking to Romeo Lavia in between, trying to talk to Declan Rice and convince him. And Man City were there, and West Ham were there as well. So it was a bit tough. But this is the latest on Romeo Lavia from Fabrizio. Arsenal are there. Arsenal are still interested in Romeo Lavia, but they are now 100% focused on these deals for Declan Rice and Jurrien Timber. But Lavia remains one of the targets in case both Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey leave the club. So this week, another thing that we've realized this week is maybe Xhaka might end up staying. I mean, that would make me so happy. I'm sure many people would be happy if Xhaka stays. That would be incredible. Because as well, the likes of Liverpool have entered the race for Romeo Lavia and have not really made a bid. Unless we come out of nowhere and make a bid and all of a sudden he joins Arsenal, I'd not be surprised if he doesn't become an Arsenal player and we go for two other different midfielders from a different country, maybe from England, a couple that maybe we've never been linked to, maybe a couple that we've actually been linked, like a Zubimendi and someone like a Milinkovic-Savic. It could come out of nowhere. Also from Fabrizio, at the moment, there is interest and contacts from Arsenal, but still not a bid. Liverpool are now into the race. They are working on Lavia and are now having direct contact on both player and club side. Liverpool and Arsenal are both into the race for Lavia. They are the two clubs who are pushing in this moment. I'm hearing rumors that Liverpool are about to make a bid. So Liverpool are also getting their deals quickly done, just like Arsenal. I think they've already signed McAllister and Szoboszlai, and they want Romeo Lavia as well. For us as well, by the end of this week, we'll have 3 signings in Havertz, Rice, and Jurrien, and maybe Romeo Lavia as well. So both teams are moving very, very quickly. Liverpool right now, I don't think they're speaking to any other player, so maybe they're a bit ahead of us in terms of Lavia, because for us, we still need to finalize the Rice deal and plan the medical and everything, and also finalize the Jurrien Timber deal. The final touches, we have to put the finishing touches on those deals to get them across the line and finally get the here we go from Fabrizio Romano. So Romeo Lavia, I'd not be surprised if he doesn't join us. So right now, I'd say 60% he join Arsenal. I think there's a huge chance that he doesn't join Arsenal, and maybe even higher than that. Maybe actually 55% he'll join, 45% he won't join. We have to wait and see, mainly because we've really been focusing on the other deals. Number 2, the fee as well. Unless Southampton, I would not even be surprised if he doesn't join Liverpool or Arsenal, he ends up in a different team because of the fee that Southampton are demanding for Romeo Lavia, 40-50 million. But then again, if teams don't sign him this summer, next summer, Man City can get him back for a very, very cheap deal, because he used to be that player. So let's see what happens with this Romeo Lavia deal. But again, I'm sure we'll hear about a midfielder that we've not had Arsenal being linked to before. And then maybe we'll go for the ones that we've been linked to before, like a Zubimendi, someone like that. But let's wait and see. In terms of Granit Xhaka, what's the latest on him? Now, according to reports, Bayer Leverkusen's pursuit of Granit Xhaka remains at a standstill. It was at earlier this month. Although the progression in Arsenal's chase for Declan Rice could move things along, even so, from Arsenal's perspective, it is not a need to sell Xhaka. Exactly. That's how I feel about Xhaka, and that's how I feel about Partey, unless there's something behind the scenes with Thomas Partey. I don't think we need to sell them. As we said at the beginning of the transfer window, I don't think we need to sell any of these players. I would have been happy to keep Jesus, happy to keep Odegaard, happy to keep Ramsdale, happy to keep Tomiyasu, happy to keep Xhaka, Thomas Partey, Reece Nelson. I'd have been happy to keep all of those players. Same with Kieran Tierney as well. I don't really feel like we need to sell any of them. So in the case of Xhaka and Tierney and Partey, we don't really need to sell any of them. So if you don't give us good money for them, well, we are happy to keep them. Same with Balogun. If you're not bringing 40-50 million, we don't have to sell him. It's not like a player who we need to get rid of immediately because of wages and everything. Someone like a Pepe is in that category of where we need to clear the wages and stuff, so we need to get rid of him. So in terms of that, if a 15 million offer comes, we have to sell him. But for the likes of Xhaka and Partey, we don't really need to get rid of them. They are one of the best midfield partnerships in the Premier League last season. Same with Balogun and same with Tierney. So if you don't come with a concrete offer that will be like, you know what, maybe you can take this money and use it elsewhere, we don't have to sell them. But I think it's kind of a standstill right now because Arsenal are looking for more than 20 million and also been waiting for the Rice deal to get through the line. Maybe at the same time, Bayer Leverkusen have been like, you know what, we want to get this player immediately for our preseason as well. We can't really wait for Arsenal to get their deals done. Maybe they've switched their focus to another player. Will that frustrate Xhaka? Did he really want to leave, or is he happy to stay at Arsenal? That's all. We have to take all that into consideration. A couple of other players who could be staying at Arsenal, definitely staying at Arsenal, at these two, William Saliba and Reece Nelson. William Saliba had an incredible season. He was included in the team of the season by many people. And Reece Nelson only played like 200 Premier League minutes for us, but whenever he came on, scored like twice against Nottingham Forest, came on, assisted against Southampton, came on, scored the bang of a goal against Bournemouth as well. Incredible performances off the bench. So what's the latest on the both of them? Well, Arsenal expect to tie down William Saliba to a new 4-year contract extension as part of a quadruple boost this week. Reece Nelson is also on the verge of agreeing similar terms. Arsenal also hope to get deals for Declan Rice and Jurrien Timber over the line. So far this transfer window, we've announced Saka's new deal. We've announced Havertz's signing, but this week we are finally going to announce Declan Rice, also Jurrien Timber, also Reece Nelson, and also William Saliba. And remember, William Saliba is like a new signing. You have to keep him in the team. And Reece Nelson, if you give him a new contract, reward him for what he did last season. Maybe next season, maybe he becomes the player who's going to back up Saka on that right side. Another versatile player. Remember the kind of team we are building? Saka can do that. Jesus can do that. Timber can do that. And remember the ones that we already have, the likes of Reece Nelson is another player who can play in 3 different positions in the team, both wings, and maybe even as a number 10 if needed. So I think he definitely deserves to have at least a full season at Arsenal, and we give him chances in all of those competitions. So those deals are expected to be completed this soon. Another thing that is holding things up, holidays. All of these players are on holiday. We needed to get Saliba back. Reece Nelson had to come back. We had to send medics all the way to Spain to do the Havertz medical. So I don't think we can send medics every single country where these players are on holiday. So we have to wait for Declan Rice to finish his holiday, wait for Reece Nelson to finish his holiday. Obviously, we wait for Saliba, also wait for Jurrien Timber to finish his holiday. I think it was like Monday where there was pictures of him at an airport going on holiday. So we had to wait for all those holidays to finish for us to get the signatures and to get the medicals done and prepare for pre-season. Now, 11 days away as we get to Monday, that will now be 10 days away from pre-season. Nuremberg and a few other good games as Arsenal head to the United States of America to play some good friendlies against the likes of Barcelona. So that is the latest from this week and what you're expecting for next week. Just as I said last week I said next week I'm expecting a lot of movement in terms of deals, a lot of agreements, and a lot of bids to come in. So last week we started Monday, boom, Jurrien Timber deal. The next day, I think Man City made a bid for Rice. The next day, Arsenal came back with 105 million. The next day, West Ham accepted it, but they did not like the structure. Very quickly done. Jurrien Timber deal agreed. Medical plan. So this week I'm expecting the same, but this time it's different. I'm expecting the Rice deal to get through the line, Jurrien Timber deal to finally get through the line. Same with Nelson, same with Saliba, and maybe a surprise deal out of nowhere. Also, in terms of players who could be leaving, we need to keep an eye on Partey, Xhaka, Balogun, Pepe, Elneny. Elneny's back in training. I think he will be staying for now. I don't think he'll be leaving for now. If he's going to leave, maybe at the end of the transfer window. Cedric as well, leaving Arsenal on a permanent deal. I mean, on a free. Tierney as well as the latest. Okonkwo, the goalkeeper. A lot of players to keep an eye on. But that is it for now. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button as always, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.